family. You join us live. What's happening? How's everyone doing? Been another busy week for me. But I'm happy to be here again. First of all, I wanna say a big thank you to all my new subscribers. My channel is really growing fast. So yeah, it's currently 394 subscribers, and yeah, I little about a month ago I didn't dream of having 300 subscribers. So here we are. The channel is growing very fast, uh, and yeah, soon approaching 1,000 subscribers very soon. So I must be doing something right? And I really believe in what I do for the family. Um, I promote Pan Africanism, the global unification of everyone of African descent. Okay, whether it's 1% African or 99% African, you are an African descent if you acknowledge it. I actually have a video on my channel which I did before about the African identity. So if you haven't seen that, please go see that video that I did. That's one video that I've asked brother O'Shea Jackson to share a lot of my videos, and he's been a bit reluctant. But one of my favorite videos that he shared was that. So I think that is the most important video for everyone to see, and it's all about pride, being proud in the motherland, being proud of the motherland. And Africa is on the rise. Africa is on the rise. So thank you again to all the new subscribers and the future new subscribers. Welcome to my channel. Yeah, I am Chief Drano, and I promote Pan-Africanism and the global unification of everyone of African descent. So there we have it. Today's topic is, February 28th. Okay, is not the end of Black History Month. Okay, today is not the end of Black History Month. I know some of you in the United States is still February 27th for you. I suppose people in the western part of the United States, California, and that. Okay, you guys are still yet to cross the midnight mark into the February 28th. Okay, but bear in mind that every day, okay, every day should be lived in memory of the ancestors. Okay, in memory of the ancestors. Pan-Africanism is not dead. Pan-Africanism is well alive. The vision has been asleep. I never thought that Pan-Africanism died with the death of Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, or the ousting of Dr. Kwame Nkrumah from office by the hands of the American and the Canadian government. Okay, and I read this history out to you, how the Canadian High Commission in Ghana, orchestrated the overthrow of Dr. Kwame Nkrumah by training soldiers to overthrow Dr. Kwame Nkrumah whilst Dr. Kwame Nkrumah was out of the country. And also there were assassination attempts made on Nkrumah's life. Okay, and what was this? Basically, when the comments that the Canadian High Commissioner made, basically was good riddance. Okay, because Dr. Kwame Nkrumah was a big problem for the Western countries, being that Nkrumah was promoting a united Africa, okay, a United States of Africa back in the 60s. Nkrumah's vision for Pan-Africanism always included the diaspora, and Nkrumah spending part of his life in the United States, taking the African Americans in the United States as family. Okay, he never forgot about them. But the West knew what they had to do. Okay, they know that if they cut off the head, okay, if they cut off the head of the movement, okay, the movement would die. But guess what? Thanks to those that uphold the history, the true legacy of Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, okay, the awakening is here. Okay, the awakening is here. They've tried everything possible to bring Africa down, but Africa is on the rise. Okay, Africa is on the rise, and we do have allies. Okay, we do have people or nations that are always on our side. Okay, i.e., China. All right, China, and I'm not going to go too much into that, but I'm going to talk about promote Pan-Africanism tonight, and also plant a seed in your mind that Pan-Africanism, is not dead, and also February 28th is not the end of Black History Month. Okay, February should not be the only month designated for Black history, and remembering our ancestors. Actually, in April is Africa Freedom Day. I think April 25th. And then in May, there's another celebration. So I'll keep you guys updated about such information. And yeah, now I'll do a little sound check. I'll do a little sound check here and check who's online with me. Okay. And shout out to. I'll do a little sound check here. Okay, the sound is pretty good. Welcome to the stream, accomplice in Freedom X BAMN X, peace and blessings. Yeah, you listening? Yes. You schooled him. O'Shea. Yeah, O'Shea is a very good brother. O'Shea is very. I regard O'Shea as one of the very intelligent, smart Black people out there. And O'Shea is making some really smart moves that yeah, I am very impressed about. I thank you for joining the stream. I'm going for my driving test tomorrow. Wish me luck, Chape Drana. All the best. The secret to passing your driving test is, being relaxed, and never go above the speed limit, because I had to fail mine. I had to fail mine twice. Okay, and I in Australia, okay, Australia promotes equality for all, but I think Australia gives too much power to females or women. Okay, too much power to women, and someone told me that when you're a bloke, because what happened, a new law came in 2018 before you get your driver's license. When you turn 18, you have to do 128 hours of supervised driving, including 10 hours of night driving. So I did a whole lot of driving, but before that, as teenagers, we used to steal our parents' cars, and at 16, I was driving around town. Even 14, 15, I was driving around town with my parents' car. But I was so confident, several times I've driven past, the cops, and my heart, jumps to my mouth. But I get so lucky, I don't get pulled over, right? But then I failed my driving test twice. I failed it twice, even though I had a driving instructor. I failed the test twice, And someone told me that because Victoria had the highest um, accident relating to death. Um, the government put a lot of pressure, on male young drivers. Okay, so we've been really scrutinized. Okay, we've been forced to be good drivers, and actually the fatality rate on the roads in Melbourne or in Victoria had dropped since that implementation. So anyway, I failed my driving test twice, and both of my the conductors, okay, were females. Okay, so they purposefully failed me twice. There was one time I went over the speed limit by 1 kilometer per hour. Okay, the lady was like, "Nah, that's it. Turn around, go back. You failed." I'm like, "Oh my god, I just went over it." Yeah, they wouldn't listen to anything. Okay, they wouldn't listen to anything. So yeah, second time as well, the lady was like, "Oh, you were being too cautious in the road. You were driving too slow." And I'm like, "What? Since when was that part of the rule?" So part of the rule was being too cautious. Okay, part of the reasons why I failed my driving test was being too cautious. But the third time, right, I had a male driver, a male driving conductor. Okay, yeah, 1 kilometer above the speed limit. They failed me, right? So the third time I had a male conductor, okay, and he passed me. Okay, he passed me. He's like, "You were being a bit cautious on the road. It was 80 and you were doing 60, but I'll pass you this time." Okay, so this is what's happening. Okay, sexism is another thing that is detracting from the movement of us human beings advancing forward. Okay, reaching out to the stars. Okay, sexism. Anyway, uh, sorry for being long-winded, but yeah, good luck to you. Double I. How would I call your name? I. So yeah, don't go over the limit. Yeah, be safe on the road, and yeah, when you get your P's. When I got my P's, okay, I went to visit my best mate who lived like the other side of town, about 40 kilometers away. I drove all the way to see him just to show off, in my new car. So yeah, there we go. It's great fun. It's great freedom. Okay, having your license to drive is great freedom. All right, and it opens a lot of opportunities for you in terms of like employment. You can drive anywhere through town for work. Thanks for joining the stream, Elm City Live, my only moderator. Yeah, can't stay by showing some love, hon. Thank you, sister. Uh, Love you right back. All right, so I know it's late for you, so you'll be hitting the sack pretty soon. Vic Roads also makes a lot of money. Oh, of course they do. They make a lot of money when they fail you, and you have to do the test twice, so or more than twice, 3 times. I know people who failed like 8, 10 times. So, yeah, that's a lot of money going away. So each time, it's about $300 with your driver's instructor and the conductor. So if you fail 10 times, that's $3,000 gone. So yeah. Anyway, so the topic for today again, LMCD, I don't know if you're still there, but you can catch the rest of the stream later. It's about today is not the end of Black History Month. Okay, Black history does not end today. Okay, so every day should be lived in remembrance or memory of our ancestors. Okay, and the struggle and the fight for our liberation. Okay, and we should always revere our ancestors. Okay, never call our ancestors slaves. Okay, they're warriors. All right, we should always give them the proper, um, you know, reverence to them. Should always take pride in our ancestors. Okay, a car is not a luxury in Australia like in Africa. It's a necessity. Yeah. In Australia, yeah, that's right. In Australia, a car is is a necessity. It's not a luxury. Okay. So yeah, I've never seen so much, bombs. You know what a bomb is. Okay, in Australia, a bomb is a beat down car. A car that has been beat down for so many years, and people don't want to let go of it. Okay. There's so many bombs on the streets of Melbourne. I swear to God. But if when I go on the internet, YouTube, I see Nigeria, Ghana, people are having Hammers, they're having Bentleys, and you rarely see Bentley on the street of Melbourne. Okay, and this is what it is. Okay, people are more focused on spending the money. Okay, growing up, this is what we told. Okay, save your money to buy a house. Okay, and every Australian child knows this. Okay, so every Australian child knows that I might save up money to buy my first home, but in Africa, nobody, or the United States, it's all about your Jordans. It's all about your the car that I was watching a video of brother Polite. Okay, he was showing off his BMW with butterfly doors. But brother Polite does a lot of businesses, but I'm not going to take away from him. But it's polluting the mind of the young. Okay, for them to think that this is what you need. But no, you need to plan for your future. Okay, you need to plan for your future. Get a house first. Pay off that house in 30 years. Okay. After 30 years, you finish paying off your mortgage. You can buy whatever car you want. And the trick is you need to start early. Okay. You need to start early. This. I want to, with my platform, what I want to do is educate the young, set them up for the future. Okay. So at 14, you should be able to get a job. I got my first job when I was like about 9 years old, 10 years old. I was building computers. Okay. I was more of a nerd than anyone else. I was building computers. I knew how to build network cables. I knew how to build servers. Okay. I knew how to build servers. And this is back in Ghana. I was doing this. I built my own computer. You know, I repaired my family's television. At 5 years old, I started opening up electronic gadgets at home. I even got electrocuted several times, but surprisingly, I'm still here. But yeah, so part of my plan or ambition is to mentor the young generation. Start early. Build your future early. Start very very early. At 14, you can get a job at even in the kitchen. I've worked in the kitchen before, washed dishes, save up $100 a week, and do, just keep saving. Stay at home with your family, keep saving until you turn 18. You would have amassed a lot of wealth to go out, you know, and buy your own property, like a little small unit, okay, and start off like that, you know. But then I spend mine traveling overseas and spend it on my cars and stuff, my V8, right? But my best mate bought his house at 19, and then I've been trying to catch up with him ever since. But when I turned 24, okay, that was when I got a wake up call. I'm like, I've got to do something. Okay. So I bought my land at 24, but I had saved up. Okay. So I bought my land at 24 and I built my own house. I built a 5 bedroom house, which is now valued almost $1 million. So this is what we need to do. Okay. Black people, or as anyone really, anyone. Okay. You need to start young, start saving up and plan for the future. All right. So don't spend your money on cars. Okay, don't spend your money on cars. My car is purposefully to drive to work. Okay. My car is purposefully to drive to work, and that's it. And it's a bomb. Right. So you got a question. Why do African Americans like using the N word when we criticize white people when they use it? Shouldn't be wrong for anyone. Yeah. I mean, this is part of the the miseducation. Okay. You don't want people to call you the N word. Okay, you should stop using it. Okay, let it fade away. But this is how I see it. Okay, there's a there's always been people who always like to remind other people of the conditions of black people in the United States or conditions of black people worldwide. Uh, some like to say that black people are still slaves or beneath white people or black people are always at the bottom of everything. Okay, so they like to always perpetuate these kind of things. Okay, but the moment we stop using it, okay, they will stop using it because I know for the most part, okay, nobody non-African can use that word without have facing some sort of consequence. Okay, you can't just go and say that N word. You get your teeth knocked out, right? But we can say it to ourselves. Yeah. But the positive side of that I see is it always reminds us of our struggle and what we go through. Okay, that is the only positive side I see of it. Someone who loves history and always thinking about history, us using the N word always reminds us of our current situation. So, how do you feel about living off the grid? I'll get to that in a moment, my beloved sister. So, this takes me calling ourselves the N word. Okay, takes me to takes, and then mind you, the N word. Okay, there's so many me well, say there were so many meanings to it. Like it doesn't just mean the derogatory N word, but it also means Naga. Okay, and Naga are just black people coming out of Africa. Okay, so all throughout Asia, through you see because black people migrated throughout. You see the Naga heads in say India. You go to Japan, you have a place like Nagasaki. Excuse me, have some water. So all throughout, you see the representation of these words or uh, repetition of these words, Naga. So the right word for us is Naga, not the derogatory N word. Okay, so the sooner we let go of it, the better it is for us. For people to see us in a better light. But also, and the that also leads me to the hashtag ADOS again. Okay. Now, I don't want to leave that alone. I'm not going to leave that alone because, it degrades our ancestors. Okay. We are not descendants of slaves. Okay. We are warriors. All right. We are descendants of great people. Okay. Yes, we were enslaved. Yes. Okay. We're great people. We were raided. We were captured. Okay. The proper term for us should be prisoners of war. Okay. But no great people ever describe themselves based on their failures. Okay, no great people ever do that. Europeans never do that. They always describe themselves with the greatest people. So you talk about Hercules, you talk about Achilles, even though Achilles was killed. Okay, Achilles was killed because of a woman, you know but Achilles was a great person. Okay, they describe themselves with like King Arthur. They describe themselves with people like even Hitler. The most charismatic leader of all time, Hitler. Okay, even though he ended up on the wrong side, but on the dark side. But the dark side is not always a bad side. Okay, but I see Hitler as a righteous man. Okay, his cause was righteous, even though he ended up doing so many bad things. But his cause was really, really righteous. And for the most part, Hitler is like an angel compared to like Churchill and all these people. Okay, the French and the British, what they've really done to Africa, Australia, the Americas, all over the world. Okay, it makes Hitler look like an angel. Trust me. King Leopold. Okay, 10 million people recorded. Okay, 10 million people recorded alone in Congo. They were murdered by King Leopold's minions. Let us not talk about Libya, Mussolini, what he did in Ethiopia. Okay, 500,000, half a million Ethiopians. Okay, history is now taught us that it wasn't just Ethiopians that fought. Okay, there were people from the Caribbean. Okay, because back in the day they really understood that everyone in Americas understood that we were Africans. There wasn't anything like African American. They called us African. We knew ourselves as African. We looked like Africans. We are Africans. Okay, so there were people from the Caribbeans. You know, anyone from the Americas that could come join the Ethiopians. Okay, to fight the Mussolini's army. Okay, and they won. Okay, even though 500,000 people died, sacrificed their life for the motherland. Okay, okay. So I think Dr. Mumbi did a show on this. That Haile Selassie designated a land for African Americans. Okay, anyone of African descent in the Americas to come back home. Okay, to come back to Ethiopia. So you see, there's a lot of African Americans in Ghana. There's a lot of African Americans in Ethiopia. These things are there. Okay, they've been implemented ages ago, but people are not aware of this. Okay, people are not aware of this. Okay, so in the 60s, when it went about murdering all our leaders, okay, murdering all our leaders, and polluting our minds that Africa is backward and da 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 da. Okay, uh, it's just systemic. You know, systemic. It's mind control, and you know, it's about time we wake up. You know, we wake up. But you know, Hitler was an angel. I mean, I see Hitler as an angel compared to what the British, okay, and the French have done, okay, to black people worldwide. All right, so yeah, again, Europeans always, you know, align themselves with greatness all the time, greatness. You know, they will even steal your history and attach to theirs just so they look great. Okay, this is what Europe does. Okay, this is what Europe has done. Okay, and it's all about self-image. Okay, so if you promote a negative self-image about yourself, okay, knowing yourself as only slave, your history only starts with being a slave. Where's the greatness? How what are you gonna aspire towards? Okay, nothing. So it's about time we started writing our history and giving ourselves greatness. You know, we can talk about the Shaka Zulus. We can talk about Okomfo from the Ashanti Empire. We can talk about Ramesses II, all the Ramesses. We can talk about all the great people in Africa. Tahaka, you know, the great empire empress. Um, what was his name? Hannibal Tabaka, the Kwame Nkrumahs, Patrice Lumumba's, Julius Maleme's, even though Julius Malema is still alive, Paul Kagame, these are Sankara, Jerry John Rawlins, these are great people, greatness, okay, greatness, Malcolm X, greatness. Okay, these are people we need to align ourselves with. Anyway, so a lot, promote greatness and don't promote negativity, because negativity will not take you anywhere. Okay, it will only push you further down. Okay, and make you look worthless. All right, so accomplishing freedom. How do you feel about living off the grid? Okay, so I always love. I'm coming from a science background. I love technology. My house currently has solar panels. Okay, so I'm not completely off the grid because going off the grid, you need to buy these Tesla batteries, and they're the best, and it costs about $15,000. Okay, Australian dollars. And the solar panels cost me about just a bit under $5,000 for 21 panels, 5.6 kilowatts per hour. So basically, because there's a lot of sunshine in Australia, I don't pay electricity bill. Okay, I only pay for gas bill because of my my heater and my my stove. So, but then because the energy I generate on my solar panels goes into the grid. I sell it to the grid. Okay, so I get paid back. I get payments back for selling the energy to the grid. And what they do is they give me discount on my gas usage. So my gas usage before the solar panels used to come about $80 a month in the summer days, and about 150 plus in winter days because of the heating. But then because of the solar panels, the cost on that has been slashed. In winter, we do get some sunshine, but I only pay about $30 a month, for my electricity, or even less. And then gas, I pay a little bit higher, but the cost would have been greater. Okay, so overall, I've saved. I've cut down my energy cost about 60-70%. So yeah, going off the grid would be really lovely. That is my plan for the future. I would love to have a farm. So whether here or in Africa, I'm gonna be completely off the grid. Okay, completely off the grid. So yeah. Yeah, I've been in Australia for quite a while now, almost 20 years now, and I came here as a child, you know, and also before I turned 18. Okay, and also yeah, I do own a house. Yes, I do. I do own my house. So yeah, those are personal stories for other day. But yeah, staying on point, on topic. Black History Month does not end today. Okay, it does not end today. I will. What I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna share a video that um, by a sister by the name um, a sister who has a channel called Freak Esquire. Okay, African Esquire. Sorry, and she did a video on Pan Africanism lives on. Okay, so Julius Malema's speech on African unity. So I'm gonna play that. Okay, so you guys should chill out and enjoy this really black power moment. Okay, Julius Malema. All right. So I mean, 2019. Okay, it's really great. Okay, the internet is by far the best. Biggest liberator for African people. Okay, every evil is being exposed. Okay, every evil agenda has been exposed. So I mean, the internet is really great. Okay, and if you own a computer and you have internet in 2019 and you decide to be ignorant, okay, uh, I just don't know what to do with you. But okay, my channel is about dispelling the myths and the misconceptions and fighting the ignorance. Okay, because it's always there. Ignorance is always going to be there. So yeah, yeah, no more hiding. Chaotic Storm, thanks for joining the stream. No more hiding. Yeah, no more hiding. And believe it or not, I used to be very quiet and timid. Not very timid, but just not reclusive either. I was just in my own shell, doing my own thing a lot of the time. But the situation is dire. Okay, we all need to go down in history. Okay, we all need to make history. So what we're doing now, okay, we all creating history. Okay, family, we are all creating history, and we will all be remembered. Okay, what I'm doing now is nothing different to what Malcolm X was doing in the 60s. It's nothing different to what Kwame Nkrumah was doing, but because there was no freedom of press at the time, There was no internet at the time, so it kind of seemed like a one-man job at the time. But now, I mean, we can all come together as a united force, on the internet, and we can be so loud, we can be so loud and unstoppable, and the movement is can't be stopped. Okay, the movement now is like an avalanche. You can't stop it. You can't stop it. If you try to stop it, you just die. So yeah, everyone out there, do the best you can, okay, for Pan-Africanism. If you recognize yourself as a someone of African descent, you know do what you can, okay, in your own power. Even your contributions in the comment section, brings in new ideas and support and stuff like that. So this is how we do it. This is how we do and promote the global unification of everyone of African descent, which is Pan-Africanism and the main goal and agenda of Pan-Africanism. Okay, but we can take it further. Okay, promoting or giving rise to the supremacy, okay, of Black people. Okay, centralizing, the home base of operation on the mother continent. Okay, so if you want to take it to a more radical approach, that should be the other part of it. But the main purpose is uniting everyone of African descent. Okay, uniting global unification of everyone of African descent, which includes Australians. Okay, Australians, native Australians, Aboriginal Australians. Okay, Black people, people from Papua New Guinea, Vanuatu, Fiji, people who look like us, okay, who kinky hair, who look like us, Black people, okay. We all came from Africa, and Pan-Africanism extends to all these people as well. So it's okay to be African appearance. Yeah, it's okay to be of African appearance. Of course it is. Of course, it's okay. I mean, we're beautiful people. Everything about us is beautiful. I can go out. It is really hot in summer in Australia. I can go out, okay, but I'll not. I kind of look red sometimes. I burn when I go in the sun. I burn, but then I only get darker. Okay, I can only get darker. Okay, in winter I lose my darkness. I get a bit lighter, but in summer I can get really really dark. But European Australians can't do that. They go out in the sun, they burn, and they don't get darker. Some of them, some of them who have, some African ancestry can actually build some tan, but for the most part, someone from like Scotland with no African ancestry would just burn. So yeah, love yourself. Okay, we can live anywhere. Okay, that is sunny. Okay, that is sunny. We can live there, and for the most part, every living organism, wants to live in a warm part of the climate, not where the snow is. 100 years of African appearance. Yeah, and black don't crack. Okay, black don't crack. And if you go black, you don't go back. All right, so yeah, so I was gonna play these sound. Well, actually, let me just share that video. So yeah, if you listening to or if you're watching my stream, African Esquire, I love that sister. She's very very articulate. Um, she knows her stuff. She knows what she's talking about in regards to the African diaspora. Be it in Haiti or Haiti, be it in Brazil, be it on the African continent or wherever. Okay, she knows her stuff. So I was talking about African gang narrative. Yeah, the African gang narrative is just a media propaganda. Okay, did you actually see? I think on the weekend there was these white couple. They were bashing a police officer. They were like full on punching the police officer. Okay, like this is the difference between the United States and Australia. Okay, the police don't kill people here. Police don't shoot people anyhow here, unless you are like a terrorist about to kill people. But if you go like if you can have a punch on with the police. Okay, the police is not going to be shooting you. Okay, the police here actually are trained. Okay, to tackle bullshit. Let's put it that way. Okay, they don't pull out guns and start shooting people anyhow. And this is the difference between the United States okay, and in Australia. Okay. And this guy was full on bashing his police officer, full on bashing his police officer. No moment in time did this police officer pull out a gun and shoot this man. Okay. No moment in time. Other police officers came and arrested this man without him being shot. Okay. What's good, family? Lil T. Thanks for joining the stream. Yeah. Good morning to you. It's night. Not night. It's 7:13 p.m. here. Friday. Friday. Thursday. Okay. Yeah. So yeah. Thanks to waking up to Chief Drana. But yeah. Big difference. All right. Big difference. Um, Please don't kill people here anyhow. You Rampantly. They don't do that. So yeah, I was seeing that news, okay, and I'm like, okay, so the African gangs don't do that, okay. And the problem with the African, what they call, of course, there are criminal elements in the youth. Usually, it's the youth, okay, and a whole lot of these youth were born in Australia, okay, and the law in Australia does not allow parents to discipline their children like they used to in Africa. Because I knew growing up, if I muck around, my mom always has a cane, a little cane in a corner, and I'm gonna cop it. All right. So yeah, it put me in line. I don't want to get that cane. I don't want my bum to be hurting. I don't want my palm to be hurting. So I always did the right thing. Okay. I always did what mom said or dad said. All right. But here you can't do that. It's called abuse. Okay. Child abuse in Australia. It's called child abuse. So parents don't discipline their kids. Okay, you go to jail for doing so. So these kids become so wayward, and they have the freedom they have, whatever the freedom they want to do, whatever they want to do, they just go out there and become a fool. Okay, become an absolute idiot on the streets. Okay, but it's only a small percentage. Okay, out of the crimes in Australia, the crimes committed by people of African descent or black people, period, is less than 1%. Is less than 1%. Okay, but then they're always on the news because the fear of black people, always because of the myth that black people are dangerous. So it's all media propaganda, media bullshit. Okay, but then of course when the man that white person was bashing the police officer, nobody said, "Oh, white Australian gang." Nobody said anything like that, and it wasn't all over the news. It wasn't all over the news. They never do that, but let an African do that, you see, it will be all over the news, all over the news. Yeah. So this is what it is. So yeah, highly educated people know that it is BS. And that's what white people said. Dangote is going to the largest cement producer in the world in a few more years. Oh, he's going to be okay. Right, right, right. So yeah, power to Dangote. I mean, yeah, the African billionaire. Okay. Yeah. I hope he can bring in more investment into Africa, all over Africa. I know he has businesses all around Africa, and this is what Pan-Africanism is. Okay. Okay, this is all about Pan-Africanism. Okay. We have Palestinians and Lebanese recognizing themselves as Africans, okay, doing business on the continent. Even Chinese people are recognizing themselves as Africans doing business on the continent. And I don't know if you guys can remember one of the top geneticists in China came up saying that there's no single individual in China without an African ancestry. Okay, since then, a whole lot of Chinese people started flocking into Africa, and China is doing the same. Okay, China is reciprocating, reciprocity. Okay, giving back. Yeah, so a lot of African students are now in China studying. And it's all about the level of education. So once Africans get to that level of education, a whole lot of things are going to happen in Africa. Okay, the revolution starts with the mind. So not until you control the mind, you can't even win a physical war. Okay, can't win a physical war. So yeah, My advice to my fellow black people is to stop being deceived by these shiny things, cars, blings, girls, gangster lifestyle, but rather find true knowledge and embrace who you are. Well said, double I. Well said. It is what it is. Okay, knowing your own worth. Okay, knowing your own worth. Knowing that you are great people. The whole world originated from us. From us black people, Africans. The whole world originated from us. My ancestry. My DNA is E. Okay, E, which is not North African, and sub-Saharan Africa, and my maternal is L3. Okay, and the L3 maternal lineage is what gave rise to every other people group on this planet. So L3, that's why I have family all the way into India, even Australia. I'm related to Australian Aboriginal people. Okay, so this is how deep it is for me. This is how deep Pan-Africanism is for me. Okay. My L3 haplogroup is found amongst Australian Aboriginal people. So I'm not here in Australia by chance. Okay, the ancestors are putting me here. Okay, but I said it on a show that I have identity crisis. People don't understand. People don't understand. People don't understand. My grandfather is half German, half German American. I was born blonde. People don't understand these kind of things. These kind of people don't understand. So the calling is always there. If you know yourself, okay, you begin to navigate yourself through life so easily. You know who you are. You know your worth. Okay, you know who you are. And I'm not digressing, but Hitler, they did a DNA test on Hitler. Okay, Hitler's family, part of it. I think Hitler's mother was actually a maid to maid servant to one of the um, government officials in Germany. So Hitler's grandfather, I think, had an affair with Hitler's grandmother. I think something like that along that line. Okay, and that gave birth to Hitler. Okay, so Hitler has an African DNA. Okay, so a whole lot of Germans do have African DNA. A whole lot of Germans. So even though my grandfather is, I don't know, he told everyone he's half German. Okay, but I did my research. I know he comes from Virginia, Richmond, Virginia. That's where my grandfather comes from. Okay, and part of his family come from Jamaica and Bahamas. Okay, this is where my grandfather comes from. All right, but he went about telling everyone he's German. But I know who he is now from my research. Okay, and yeah, my DNA results came and I'm 60% Moroccan Berber. Okay, 60% Moroccan Berber, Algerian Mozabite. Okay, and these are like people will say call them white people, but they're Africans. Okay, they're Africans. They've been living in Africa for thousands of years, over 10,000 years. The Berbers have been in Africa. Okay, and there are black Berbers, there are light-skinned Berbers because there are a few back migrations, like the Germanic people also came into and mixed with African people, and then the Romans came as well and mixed. So my DNA is like everywhere. So I like Julius Malema, but yeah, I'll get to Julius Malema. Okay, I have a video that I'm gonna share from African Esquire. Okay, and he is Julius Malema is gonna basically say everything. Okay, um, that I would, he's basically gonna say it better than I because he's been doing this for a long time. Okay. But I'm still learning. Okay, I am learning, and I'm not perfect here. So if people come on my channel and tell me I'm babbling, I mean, if you can do better, just do it. Okay, don't come and knock my hustle. All right, and try and put me down because it won't move me. All right, it will not move me. So yeah, I like Julius Malema, but I don't like the violent language he uses against white South Africans. It's not good to incite hate against others, but I like his vision. Yeah. The thing is that people don't understand what power is. Okay, people say power excludes. Okay, but you know not everyone is 100% perfect. You know, Malcolm X was calling the white man a devil. You know, when Malcolm's message was so radical. Okay, so radical. He wasn't having it at all. Okay, Malcolm wasn't. Malema did right in your. I didn't quite get that. Malema did right. You're wrong. Okay, you're wrong. So yeah, what Malema is doing, okay, Malema is basically like, what Hitler did, okay, how Hitler rose to power, exactly the same thing. All great leaders fighting for their own people, okay, fighting for their own people because they've been oppressed, okay. This is the similar message across the board, okay. So people say power excludes. In my theory, okay, what I have theorized, okay, is that power does not exclude, power absorbs. Okay, power absorbs. So, you know, when we talk about the black hole, okay, the black hole absorbs everything. Okay. Um, when you look at the sun, okay, when a star is dying, when a star is like a dying sun before it becomes a black hole, okay, it absorbs everything. And this is the fate of Earth. One day the sun is going to burn out of its hydrogen, helium gas. Okay, it's going to burn out of that helium gas, and what it's going to do is it's going to start pulling anything that it could use to burn, to keep burning. So it's going to start pulling all the planets in and stuff like that, and eventually become a black hole. So this is what it is. Power always absorbs. Okay, power does not exclude. So my theory is, even though Malema is preaching the a right message, Africa for Africa, okay, anyone of African descent, tie yourself to the continent, and that. But mind you, that there are people on the other side that have also fought for our liberation. Okay, there are other people, quote unquote, white people that have fought for our liberation. Okay, so yeah, we shouldn't do that. Base it on skin color. It's not about skin color. Okay, it's way beyond skin color. It's way beyond skin color. It's ideologies. Okay, it's always about the rich getting richer and keeping and oppressing the poor. That is all it is about. Okay, it's not about race. It's not about anything else. Okay, it's racism is economics, point blank. Okay, economics. Okay, there's this man by the name Michael Imhotep. Okay, he's a YouTuber. Okay, he talks about history, and what he does is he explains like everything that occurs right now, even currently, is related to history, and he explains it. You know, phenomenon. I'm not gonna use big words, but he explains it in a really good way. All right, for you to understand why certain things are happening. Okay, and he has postulated that racism is based on economics and using the wealth, basically using the wealth, controlling the wealth, and using it to oppress other people. Okay, to the benefit of the people with the wealth. Okay, that's my iteration, but it's not quite. But you can frequent it. You can go to this channel and see what it is. Okay. So racism is a system of oppression, okay, that is economic based, okay, and using the wealth generated to oppress other people, be it with education, be it with healthcare, and whatever it is. So it's not good for Malema to say shoot the farmers etc. I support taking of the farms, but through legal means, not by killing white people. Yeah, I support your message too, double I. Okay. Two wrongs don't make it right. Two wrongs never make it right. Okay. What you do is you create a vicious cycle. Okay. You create a vicious cycle. What goes around comes around. Okay. What goes around comes around. So Africa had been in a position of dominance before Europeans, like thousands and thousands and thousands of years. Okay, thousands and thousands and thousands of years, Africa has been dominating the world, and Europeans only showed up like what, 3,000 years ago, with the rise of Greece, 330 AD BC, and then came the Romans. Africa had controlled everything. Okay, who knows what Africa was doing to these people? And for the most part, like my theory is white people were in Africa and black people kicked them out. Black people drove them to the Caucasus Mountains. Okay, so and they've come back for their revenge. So it's a vicious cycle keeps going on, and this is the time we need to embrace everyone. And the whole world is gearing towards, globalization. Okay, globalization. Little did we know that you would know this yourself, like 40 years ago, 50 years ago. Okay, no, not 40, because my uncles have been in Australia for over 40 years, since the 70s. But I would say it was 1972 that Australia had a referendum to classify Aboriginal Australians as human beings. Before then, they were classified as flora and fauna, part of nature. So they were not regarded as humans. Okay, and about 80% Australians voted yes, they should be classified as human. So there's been this shift going on. Okay, the whole world is changing for the betterment of the human race. Period. So black people becoming racist, I mean, no, don't do that. It will only take us backward. Okay, only take us backward. And for the most part, the rich people are building bunkers. You don't know what's coming. What's coming. They're building all these underground cities, bunkers they can go hide in. They're going to space. They're going to another planet, Mars. Maybe an asteroid is coming to hit Earth. Nobody knows. Okay, nobody knows, and we're all going to be doomed. Okay, we're all going to be doomed. And I myself, I always stay, in tune with whatever is going on. So when I hear a hint, okay, and living here in Australia, if anything happens, okay, I know it's gonna happen in the United States first, okay. By the time it gets to Australia, I've already dug my bunker, okay. I'm gonna hide underground, or I'll burrow into a wombat's hole. So yeah, so yeah, it's very important. Unity is always very important. Do you watch Stupid Pastor doing a hoax about? Yeah, did you? Yeah, I did watch that on Dr. Moonby's show. There was this pastor who was doing a fake resurrection. It's 2019. You want to believe that Jesus is coming back? Okay, you want to believe that? Seriously, that's up to you. Okay. That's seriously up to you. Okay, I'm not gonna take away from what you're doing, but yeah, it's at this stage, it would be classified as mental illness, really. Okay, it's just giving yourself false hope. Okay, false hope. I don't know who remembers the Diana tragedy. Who remembers Jim Jones? All these people were preaching the same message. Oh, Jesus is coming. Sell your property, whatnot, and take this Kool-Aid. Okay, and they all died. Nearly 1 million people died in Diana tragedy. Okay, it was 950,000 people drank poison and killed themselves. A huge number of people, dead bodies everywhere. Okay, and in 2019, you want to believe that Jesus is coming? After 2,000 years, he's still coming. Wow. And we've sent probes to Mars. We've sent probes to Pluto. The probes that have gone beyond Pluto. Okay. And there's no, God is still not in sight. God is not in sight. So yeah, if you choose to believe in fairy tales, okay, that's completely up to you. Okay, that's completely up to you. But yeah, just remember, unity is most important. Okay. Are you atheist? I'm not atheist. I believe in the universal energy. Okay. I coming from a science background. Okay, science major. Okay. I believe in a universal energy. Okay. of which we all belong, and I call it Mother Nature. Okay, so when we die, okay, we all just go back to the infinite energy form of Mother Nature, and come back in whichever form, okay, Mother Nature wants to express us in. That's it. Okay, and the basic scientific theory is energy is neither created or destroyed. It just transforms from one form to the other, So it is what it is, and yeah, replication. Okay, rebirth. So the sun gives energy to plants. Plants transform the energy into food. If you eat meat, okay, the cows eat the grass, which get energy from the sun, okay, and we eat the cow, okay, we get the energy from the cow, okay, and then when we die, we go back to nature, we go back to the ground, and then the cycle just keeps going. Cycle keeps going, and I said before, when the sun burns out, okay, when the sun burns out, it's gonna absorb everything else back onto itself, and who knows what the sun is gonna turn into, a black hole or a dark star or whatever. So, reincarnation, reincarnation is what it is. Okay, reincarnation is what it is. So yeah, the African really understood, or the ancient African understood this. Okay, that's why throughout Egypt, or throughout Africa, we always revered the, nature, the forces of nature. So yeah, so without much ado, I'm gonna play this video from African Esquire. We shall listen to some message from Julius Malema for Black Power. Okay, for Black Power. And for all those detractors saying that Africans don't do anything for African Americans or the diaspora, okay, I stated how Haile Selassie gave land to African Americans to migrate, okay, to migrate to Ethiopia. That's why you go, that Ethiopia has a huge Rastafari community. Similarly in Ghana, okay, similarly in Ghana, and my granddad, I think, took advantage of one of those programs as well. And my grandfather migrated to Ghana. So yeah, I will play this video, African Squire, and we shall educate ourselves. So yeah. So yeah, excuse me for the silence. I'm gonna open this in a new tab, and I will share. Okay, I will share my screen. Okay, so sister African Esquire, African Esquire, the your video is for teaching purpose, so don't don't scold me, please. I am promoting your channel as well, so yeah, big ups to you, sister, and you're one of my favorite YouTubers. Okay, so let's do this. I will share my screen now, and we shall. Yeah, chaotic storm in different forms. That's it. So yeah, this is what I say. People who are mean to dogs, okay, people who are mean to dogs or pets or whatever. There's some people that are so evil, okay, that hate animals, just want to kill animals for fun and stuff like that. Okay, Mother Nature can choose to put your energy back into the animal you were mistreating. Okay, so I saw a video of this guy kicking the hell out of this dog. Nature is gonna transform that person's energy to become a dog and gets treated like that by some other energy form. And yeah, this is what it is. So reincarnation, people reincarnate back into trees, and this is what the African understood. Okay, so in Africa, in ancient Africa, it was all about righteousness. Okay, what was it? The 100 was it 100 something confessions of my art. Okay, I forgot. It's been a long time since I did that part of history, but there were these rules that Africans knew. Okay, because the African believed in afterlife. Okay, the African believed in afterlife and reincarnation. So Africa was the birthplace of all religions. Exactly. Yeah. When you go and look at the ancient pictures of Buddha, it's all Africa. Africa. It's all purely African. Anyway, I'm gonna present this, and then so yeah, African Esquire. Everyone go on to her channel and subscribe. Not that she needs more subscribers, but I think she's got over 30,000 subscribers. But yeah, just go on and subscribe to her channel and get in tune with Pan-Africanism and stuff like that. So she's very, very educated in that field. I am a mechanical engineer, and I did not study. My field is not history or Pan-Africanism or politics and stuff like that. I just have interest in it. And that's it. All right. And I believe I have a calling. Okay, I have a calling as well. So yeah, so I do these kind of things for fun, not for fun, but I do it as a hobby and an interest and leisure. But yeah, but I do it for the family. I do it for the family to educate. Anyway, so we'll play this, and we should hear some Julius Malema. Are Africans and belong to the African nation. Okay, so this is Kwame Nkrumah promoting Pan-Africanism back in the day. Okay, and this message is so dangerous, so radical for the European, and they had to do something about Dr. Kwame Nkrumah. Okay, and any other head of state that was who was bent on promoting unification of Africa and uplifting Africa. Okay, they had to take them out. Okay, Thomas Sankara, Kwame Nkrumah, forgot the names now. Gamal Nasser of Egypt. Okay, the interesting thing is Gamal Nasser of Egypt went to he went to a conference in Europe, and then he had a heart attack and died. Okay, it's so obvious that they killed this man. So obvious they killed him. Okay, Kwame Nkrumah died similarly the same way. Okay, he died similarly the same way. They obviously killed him. Patrice Lumumba was killed the same way. His body was disappeared. Okay, his body disappeared. Okay, never found. Okay, they did the same thing to Patrice Lumumba. A whole lot of African, leaders had to go through the same fate as Kwame Nkrumah, and then Pan-Africanism died, not died, but the vision died. But the vision can always be resurrected, and it was done. So yeah, all people of African descent, whether they live in North Africa, North or South America, the Caribbean, or in part of the world, or any part of the world, are Africans and belong to the African nation. Okay, belong to the African nation. So yeah, it does not exclude Aboriginal Australians. Okay, Pan-Africanism extends to Aboriginal Australians and Black people in the Pacific. Okay, for the most part, they look like us, they act like us. We are family. All right, if it quacks like a duck, it is a duck. All right, it is a duck. So yeah, let's listen to Julius Malema.
Africa, we are one. There's no one who must be allowed to divide Africa. Our struggle is to liberate the whole of Africa. We want the resources of Africa to benefit the people of Africa and not the West and not the East and not those who come outside Africa. Let us go and help Africans to get their land, to get their minerals, and use their minerals for the survival of African continent. If you hate Zimbabweans, or you are not going to vote for the EFF because I say we must love Zimbabweans, please do that. If you're not going to vote for us because we love ourselves so much, then you can go away with your self-hating vote. Papa. Mazimbabwe kimira. Hari lebeleti Mazimbabwe ribona siponi reakipona. Hari lebeleti any African, a Nigerian, a Ghanaian, all over rekipona rena self. Because the pain of Africans, it's our pain, not only here, even abroad. Those in the diaspora, those people are suffering. They are harassing them. They've got no rights. In America, it's even worse. That Donald Trump hates Africans. Africans are suffering everywhere. When they come back home, you still make them suffer. Why? What did these Africans do to you? Let's protect one another. Let us be one thing. Let us love our continent. Let us fight for our continent. Let Africa one day realize its own freedom. Let Africa one day stand on its own feet and say, I own my minerals. I own everything that belongs to this continent. Let Africa alone be able to say, enough is enough. Away with colonialism. Away with imperialism. Let the unity of African people reign supreme in all of us. We are Africans, and we are not going to apologize about that. We will defend the Zimbabweans. We will defend Africans in our townships because we are one thing. This is our continent. There is EFF in every blood of an African child. Comrades, we are going to elections. I don't want to see a drop of blood. Let's not kill each other because of elections. There must not be violence anywhere. Let people campaign freely, including in your own houses. Welcome them, educate them. Don't beat them up. Don't disrupt their meetings. In the EFF, we lead through superior logic. It doesn't mean we are cowards. We are not cowards. If a fight comes, we are not scared. We will fight. But we are not going to start any fight. Let us unite as political parties and say no to violence. Every area, it must be open for campaign. If you want to go anywhere, including Masakane in Seychelles, you must go there and campaign. No one must stop you. We don't need blood. Blood will never make EFF government. Only a cross will make the EFF a government. We need a powerful cross. We need a red cross to govern this country. We don't need war to govern this country. We need a cross. Let us go and fight. Don't be scared. Don't be a coward. Go door to door, person to person, street by street, factory by factory, university by university, school by school. Talk to our people. Tell them that the economic freedom is coming in our lifetime. We want to see it with our name, not to make profit, is to keep our people informed. Government must put money and make sure that the SABC continues to inform our people. Comrades, Zimbabwe is our home. Let's go, Zimbabwe. We are one thing. Mozambique is our home. DRC is our home. Botswana is our home. We were divided by the Boers who imposed borders on us. We never said we want borders. These borders were imposed on us by the colonizers. We are one people. The problems of Zimbabwe are our problems. We must help to solve the problem of Zimbabwe. We call upon Mnangagwa to respect democracy. Democracy is not elections, but human rights. Why do you beat people who are toy-toying? Why do you shut down the internet and social media? Because you disagree with the people. We don't want that type of government in Zimbabwe. We are praying that the people of DRC must find a permanent solution for DRC. We want the people of Western Sahara to get their land back. We want the people of Palestine to get their freedom from apartheid Israel, which stole the land of the Palestinians. We want the freedom of the people of Cuba, because the people of Cuba, they've done so much for us as the people of South Africa. The suffering of the Cubans is our suffering. So fighters, let us not be too local. Let us be international.
Sorry to, I want to give you guys a break, okay? Julius Malema, okay, for all those hashtag ADOS and all that, okay? Julius Malema is talking about the diaspora, okay? People are saying Africans don't know anything about what's happening in the United States. Look, nearly everybody in Africa has a mobile phone. Okay, nearly everybody. Okay, Kenya's internet is faster than what we have in Australia. Okay, Madagascar even has a way faster internet than we do in Australia. Okay, Africans are not stupid. Okay, whatever we're doing on the internet, they're watching. Okay, they're watching. Okay, they're watching it. And so people who are so, especially like BG's Igmore, what was the name? Minister Jap. Like O'Shea is really smart. O'Shea will be hanging out with you guys, but right, O'Shea is in Africa nearly every other day. Okay, O'Shea is doing business in Africa. O'Shea is building Africa. Okay, Danis is going to Africa, but you guys are the ignorance is beyond. Beyond me, but it's curable. Okay, it's curable. All right. I was gonna say it's beyond redemption, but you know, it's curable. The ignorance is curable. All right. So what later on I'm gonna show you the goal and the vision of Pan-Africanism within Nkrumah and all that. Okay, and Haile Selassie and all that. Okay, Angola, right? Angola. 8,000 Cuban soldiers died, okay, to fight in Portugal to liberate Angola from the rule of Portugal. 8,000. Can you fathom that? Can you understand what Pan-Africanism is? 8,000 Cuban soldiers, okay, and these are not just like black Cubans or white Cubans. Cubans, okay. What is his name? Fidel Castro doesn't deny his African ancestry. He doesn't. People in Cuba embrace their African ancestry. People throughout the Caribbean. Okay. Why must the African American from the United States disconnect themselves from Africa and see themselves as more closer to the white man than they are closer to their own African brothers and sisters? People that look like them. Okay, so the ignorance it seems beyond redemption, but it is curable. It is redeemable. So the war in to liberate Angola from the Portuguese wasn't only fought by Cubans. Okay, there were people from Brazil all throughout the Caribbean, like Guyana and stuff like that. They all came down to fight the Portuguese. All right, they all came down to fight the Portuguese. You know, in North Africa, you have people, you know, when Mussolini and, you know, the Italian government were brutalizing Libya. Okay, there were other African tribes coming in, Algeria, Morocco, fighting the Europeans. Okay, so come on, all throughout history, we always came together. We always came together for a common purpose. So yeah, I'm glad Julius Malema mentioned that. Anyway, we'll continue.
Do not exist in isolation. Aretsebe matata alefase kamuka, because atoma wanakwa, before you know it, asheja fitlemo South Africa. Let us stop xenophobia. Let us stop self-hate. Hamotoilele China as nadi pampir alimate. Hamotoilele India as nadi pampir alimate. Hamotoilele Kowa as nadi pampir alimate. But when an African is in South Africa and he doesn't have papers, you beat them. Why? Because you hate yourself. You don't love yourself. You must see yourself in the Zimbabwean. You must see yourself in a Mozambican, because that's who you are. A ground force is a fearless fighter. A ground force is a hard-working fighter. A ground force is a fighter who will never sleep without doing something for the EFF. When we leave here, we are going straight into the houses of our people. When we leave here, we are going to talk to our people. We are well equipped. Our manifesto has got solution to everything. Stop being cowards. Let us go to war. Let us arm ourselves. Now we are ready for war. Let's paint Gauteng red. This Gauteng must be red. This South Africa must be red. Fighters, every Friday we wear red. Every Friday we wear red until the elections, because the message is there. Never Savannah! Never Savannah! Never Savannah! Comrades, let's all go and say the solution is in the red. Don't be scared of anything. Let us say the red EFF is the solution. If you go from here and sleep, you must know we have a server. You are saying here, our server, we have a funa. But when you live here, you are going to sleep. You must commit now. And I want you to answer. I want you to answer properly. I want you to answer properly. So when I say we have a server, you must respond, because I want Ramaphosa to hear. He's not here in Pretoria. Today, he is in Northern Cape. So I want him to hear from Northern Cape. Am I there? Nyawa Savannah! Nyawa Savannah! Nyawa Savannah!
All right. So, yeah, that's the only one that I wanted to share, but that was a really powerful, that was a very, very powerful message by the brother Julius Malema. What am I gonna do now? I'm gonna start presenting. Okay, so sorry about that noise. That's my fridge. It's drawing some water. But yeah, yeah. So Lil T was asking, okay, I wish we had someone in the USA just like him. Okay, the family in the US had, okay, that. Okay. They had that with Malcolm X. Okay, you know what happened to Malcolm X, right? Not that I should joke about it, but you know, they took off the head, okay, and the you know that's and our people scattered, okay, uh, and the psychological warfare came in, okay, and it just detracted from the movement. Malcolm was preaching back to Africa. Like I'm gonna show you a few slides where even Malcolm was in Ghana, traveling all the way through Africa. You see Malcolm with Dr. Kwame Nkrumah. Okay, something had to be done in the 60s to all the black freedom fighters or liberation fighters. Something had to be done, and since the assassination of all these African leaders at the time, okay, we just went to sleep, and I wouldn't say we assimilated, but we just got absorbed. We just got absorbed into white power, and then that was it. And now we're struggling. We're really struggling as a people to come out of white supremacy. You know, we are in the belly of the beast, mentally enslaved. Okay, mentally enslaved. Something happened. It must have been in the water. It must have been in the vaccines. Okay, because we know the HIV was spread through Africa, but the use of the polio vaccines and whatnot, right? That's what how they spread HIV throughout Africa. JPV, welcome to the stream. Good morning to you on the West Coast. Yeah. So again, Black History Month does not end today. Okay, Black History Month does not end today. Every day of our lives, you know, we must live it in remembrance of our ancestors and their struggle. Okay, in their struggle. So yeah, yeah, there are more leaders to come. Okay, but you should know that. Okay, you should know that you can't do anything Black Power in the belly of the beast. You can't do that. Okay, it's Africa is where it's at. Okay, Africa is where it's at. It's only going to happen on the continent, and that's the central base of operation for anyone of African descent, and that's the message of Pan-Africanism. Okay, if you want to take it to the radical approach, okay, a united Africa is a force to reckon with. Okay, you can't mess with united Africa, united Black people like we did in back in history. You can't mess with that. So yeah, there are more leaders to come, and each and every one can be, you know, a leader. Okay, we don't need to have just Julius Malema, because they could easily take out Julius Malema. You know, the last person to have such a voice like that. Okay, we know what happened to him, but you know, because of the internet, okay, it's just so hard. It's so difficult to do it. Okay, because we know that if something happens to Julius Malema, we know who's done it. Okay, we know who's done it. So, you know, it's just divine. It's just a divine purpose, you know, state of affairs right now. You know, 2019 is the awakening of the Black mind. Okay, the year of liberation of the Black mind. Mental slavery is over. Okay, the mental slavery, physical slavery ended in 1865. You know, Africa was still suffering with colonization. Okay, if you think African Americans had a hard time, okay, Africans on the continent had a worse time than what you guys endured. But I'm not going to compare the struggle. The struggle is still the same. Just the experience is different. But yeah. Yeah, the more leaders to come. Okay, we are all leaders. Okay, when we're all preaching the same message as Julius Malema, and you heard in his speech, right? You heard in Julius Malema's speech, he did not condone any form of violence. He did not call for murdering of white people. So, yeah, maybe in the past he did, but people change. Okay, people change. There are white people on our side. Okay, there are white people that call us family. We call them family. Okay, so it's gonna be very, very. There are Black people that see white people as family. There are black people that, like someone like ABL, he's more Captain America than he is Captain Black people. So, you know, there are people like I have a German, a grandfather that is of German descent as well as African descent. So, you know, I can't hate a side of me that created me. Okay, essentially that's self-hate. Okay, but if you promote the message of love and unity, okay, it conquers everything. Okay, love conquers everything. All right, love just conquers everything. It's not a defeatist mentality. Okay, you are defeated if you don't unite. Okay, okay, you're already defeated if you can't unite. Okay, you can't unite, you're already defeated. So we can't just, you know, keep on creating vicious cycles. We shouldn't. Okay, it will take us nowhere. Anyway, so my second, so yeah, I think I wanted to share the Julius Malema speech, and I did that. So I am going to, what I'm going to do now is share a few slides, a few things, not slide. I don't have the time. That's why I don't make videos anymore, because they take a lot of time to edit. Okay, I can make a 3-minute video and it will take me 3 hours to edit, to record, to write my story, to think it through, to process the information I have and everything else. Okay, it takes a long time just for a 3-minute video. I could spend 3 hours on it. So I just had to you know, get some balls and do a live stream. So yeah, and I have no scripts. I'm just, you know, talking and hoping everything I'm saying is making sense. Okay, and I'm happy that you guys in the chat are enjoying what I'm saying and learning. So it's all about learning and education. So yeah, question, Lil T. What's your question, please? Ask your question whilst I look for my next thing I wanted to share. So I'm gonna go back and share my screen again. Application window. Present to everybody. What is that? So yeah, we know what happened in Venezuela. Okay, Kwame Nkrumah spoke about this. Socialism. Okay, socialism. Black people. This is our nature. We are socialist people, and Kwame Nkrumah was you know, promoting part of his Pan-Africanism movement was promoting socialism. And yeah, obviously when you go down the, you know, when you go down the track of socialism, okay, at least you write to Russia and China and stuff like that. And, you know, obviously the Western countries really don't like that. They're very capitalistic. Okay, capitalistic. They don't really like that, so they wouldn't side with socialism. That's why the problem is in Venezuela at the time, at this moment. What's happening in Venezuela is because Venezuela is a socialist country. Okay, they have all the oil and everything. Okay, but the manipulation of the United States government, foreign policies, it's what's wrecked Venezuela. Sorry, hiccups. Venezuela before our very eyes. Okay, before our very eyes. Okay, Venezuela has enough wealth, internal wealth, to be a first world country. But what's happening? People are eating out of garbage containers and whatnot. Okay, because of United States foreign policies, and they staged a coup d'état in Venezuela. Okay, and now the matter is being referred to the United Nations. Okay, the UN, the United States government tried to install a puppet government in Venezuela, government that they can control. So this is really deep. Agreed. Socialism brings people together, and it's harder to manipulate nations, people in socialist yeah. So throughout Africa history, socialism is what has been our way of doing things. Okay, we are very, very social people. Can you see my screen? I think I'm sharing. I'm sharing my screen. Can you all see that? I am sharing. Yeah, I think you can. You are. No, my screen is not sharing. Yeah, so through our history, I'm gonna try and share the screen again. Through our history, we've always been socialist people. Okay, um, you have we be very, very community minded. We very tribalistic. You know, we so the whole community a farm. They all farm together to feed the entire community. There's a saying, I think, by I mean, he wrote this book, Dr. Boyce Watkins. He has a book, I think, It Takes a Village to Raise a Child. Okay, this saying is deeply enrooted in the the African way of life. Okay, when you have a child in Africa, the child is everyone's concern. Okay, the child is everyone's concern. So so socialism all throughout history, the story of Joseph, biblical story of Joseph going to Egypt, whatnot, telling the king that he need to build a silo to harvest and store food for about 7 years. Africans have always done that. Africans have always had barns and silos to store food for many, many days and years, harvest times. They always did that. Okay, and the food is equally distributed to family units, all the families. Okay, everyone gets their food from the barn. Okay, so socialism is an African thing. Okay, so eventually it's gonna happen again. And socialist government, a perfect socialist government is gonna be what's gonna help Africa. Okay, just like China. Okay, so yeah, obviously throughout Asia, I've traveled to Thailand, Singapore, Japan, Korea. They basically, the culture is very, very similar to African culture, especially in Thailand. Very, very similar to African culture. So yeah. I have a friend from Sri Lanka. She really relates to us Africans because the culture is basically the same. So yeah, I don't know why my screen is not sharing. Can you all see the Agenda 2063? I'm trying to share this. Can you all see this? Chaotic Storm. US is a socialistic country. You can't even vote. So this is the thing, like they like democracy and socialism or whatnot. Okay, but they promote democracy, but the policies are very socialistic. Okay, in Australia we have like a, what they call it, a Centrelink. So the government gives aid to people that cannot afford a living, right? That is a socialist strategy. Okay, in a capitalist world, okay, you need to hold your own nuts. Basically, that's what a capitalist world is about. You need to hold your own nuts. Okay, capitalism is just greed, and greed is what fuels capitalism. Okay, but when you benefit from like free education, free this and that, national assets, stuff like that, those are socialistic ideas. Okay, those are socialistic ideas. Okay, but capitalism, just no one is really what capitalist. Okay, no government is solely capitalist. They always employ socialistic ideas. All right. So yeah. But I still get my money there, landscaping and other little jobs. I know. Yeah. Lil T, I'm still waiting for that question you wanted to ask. So I'm trying hard to share my screen, but I don't know why I can't share it. Let's see. I don't know why I can't share my screen. Something is wrong. Captain something Wong. So let me try this. Oh no, not that. Present to everyone. So yeah, let me know if it must not be showing. Yeah, I don't know why I can't share my screen now. You are screen sharing and presenting to everyone. Yeah, that's what I'm doing. It says that I'm sharing my screen, but nothing is happening. I cannot see it on my. Can you see it though? Can you see it, Little T? Can you see my screen? Okay, so you can't see it, so that's a bummer. So, but anyway, yeah. Can you see the screen? I can't see it. I can see it that I'm sharing, but because I have another feed playing. But hang on. I think yeah, there we go. I'm playing the screen. I'm playing the video, and I'm behind. I'm behind in the stream. That's why I couldn't see the screen. I apologize for Chief Driver's technology. So yeah, you see Marcus Garvey. All right, thank you. Yeah. So I was behind in the stream. That's why. Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, Mosiah. Okay, Mosiah Garvey. I should have been Messiah. Okay, Messiah Garvey. So yeah, read about Garvey. Okay, Marcus Garvey. He came out of Jamaica. Okay, 1887. Marcus Garvey, 1887. Jamaica. He was born, and I think he moved to the United States and promoted Pan-Africanism, and he was the founder of Universal Negro, UNIA, whatever, Universal Negro, Universal Negro Improvement Association. Okay, so yeah, read about Mosiah Garvey. Okay. But prior to Mosiah Garvey, okay, let us not debate about who was most Pan-African or who started Pan-Africanism. It all doesn't matter. Okay, it all doesn't matter. What matters is, Black people recognize that we need to be united. Okay, it's not about who started Pan-Africanism, even if he was African American or African. I say that African Americans conceived the idea of Pan-Africanism because of the yearning for African Americans to go back to Africa. Okay, after slavery was abolished in 1865. Okay, the whole we saw ourselves. Our ancestors saw themselves as Africans, and it was the back to Africa message. So they all saw themselves as Africans. Okay, but then what's happened. Okay, the systematic approach of the United States government to create a permanent underclass. Okay, permanent underclass and consumers of black people. Okay, and black people in the United States spending about trillions of dollars, over trillions of dollars. I think estimated about $10 trillion in expenses. Okay, but don't want to spend any money in Africa. Don't want to recognize they're of African descent. Don't want to and pushing the backward narratives of Africa is a shithole and stuff like that. You know, come on. And so yeah, at the time of Garvey, okay, our ancestors saw themselves as African. All right, so it was all back to African movement. All right, so yeah, Marcus Garvey, go read about him. Okay, so yeah, I read this before. Okay, Marcus Garvey and his organization, the Universal Negro Improvement Association (UNIA), represent the largest mass movement in African American history, proclaiming a Black nationalist back to Africa message. Okay, Garvey, and so I highlighted that back to Africa message. Garvey and the UNIA established 700 branches in 38 states by the early 1920s. While chapters existed in a larger urban areas such as New York, Chicago, and Los Angeles, Garvey's message reached into small towns across the country as well. Later groups such as Fathers Divine's Universal Peace Mission Movement and Nation of Islam drew members and philosophy from Garvey's organization, and the UNIA's appeal and influence were felt not only in America, but in Canada, the Caribbean, and throughout Africa. So the misconception that America only represents the United States is wrong. Okay, there's no country called America. Okay, there's no country called America. Okay, in the eyes of diplomacy, okay, if you're referring to the USA, okay, it's called the United States of America. Okay, America is not a diplomatic name. Okay, you're right. That has to stop. And I be the hood telling my homeboys we can go to Nigeria and buy locally made factory from people and help out with reproduction in the country and make. Yeah, so basically, you know, don't tell yourself that African Americans in the United States don't have a nation. Okay, first of all, you're a citizen of the United States of America, but then you can have dual citizenship. Okay, so you can go to Nigeria, have a Nigerian passport and American passport, United States passport. You can have a Kenyan passport, and so anywhere, like Ghana gives out dual citizenships. So there are Ghanaians living in England that have dual citizenships. The Ghanaians living in Australia that have dual citizenships. But you know, for the most part, I'm not into individual countries in Africa. I want the all-African passport. Okay, the all-African passport is there, but it's only given to the head of states. So the the Egyptian president Al-Sisi, okay, has the all-African passport, which allows him to go into any country in Africa. Okay, but eventually that passport is going to be extended to everybody in Africa. Everybody in Africa. Okay, and that's been agenda of the AU. So Garvey's philosophy and organization had rich religious component that he blended with the political and economic aspects. So yeah, I will eliminate the religion part, because religion is one of the reasons why we are so mentally enslaved. So we're so mentally enslaved because of religion. So yeah, let me see. It's quite a bit of a read, but you know how I do when I read, I get an idea and I try to espouse on it, and then it gets too long. So you can go read this yourself. I'll put the article's description in the description box, and you can go read it. Quincy Pinola, thanks for joining the stream. Yeah, that would be cool. The all-African passport is the coolest thing ever. So my Ghanaian passport expired. I mean, I can travel anywhere in the world with the Australian passport. Australian passport is a very, very powerful passport. Okay. very, very powerful passport. And I can go anywhere with it. But the Ghanaian passport limits me. Okay, Ghanaian passport limits me. But when the all African passport comes in, okay, it's gonna be very, very powerful. So yeah, I want that one, not the Ghanaian passport. I want the all African passport. So not until the Ghanaian government is able to, or the A.U, okay. And part of my ambition, if when my channel grows, is to put pressure on the A.U to make sure they fulfill their Agenda 2063. Okay, I will be very old in 2063. That's 40 years to my age. Now I'll be in my I'll be in my 60s. Okay, I'll be in my 60s. So yeah, I'll be really old. I will be really old. But yeah, I will still be quite, influential. But yeah. So yeah, go read the article. I'll put in the description box, and you can read about the Mosiah Garvey, okay, Marcus Garvey and his movement. Okay, it was always back to Africa, right? Don't let anyone deceive you about that. So yeah, and in the United States, okay, so Black History Month is owed to this gentleman by the name Dr. Carter G. Woodson. Okay, he was the pioneer of Black history. Okay, so he was a PhD. Okay, who wrote black people. Okay, people of African descent into world history for the first time ever. Okay, so he did that. So I read that. Okay, so you can go read that in my previous stream. Okay, you would have heard me read this. One thing I wanted to show you is yeah, so the 32nd African Union Summit, okay, was held. So 32nd, or because the African Union transitioned from the Organization of African Unity, I think it also counted the previous years of the summits, but the African Union actually took off, I think, in 2001. So it transitioned from the O.A.U to the African Union, I think, in 2001. So yeah, so I'll read this article. Okay, I'll read this article to you guys. So yeah, here you have the African heads of states. Okay, here. So yeah, so that's the Egyptian leader, I think, Al-Sisi. Who else do I recognize here? That looks like the Nigerian president. And he won, Buhari. He won the election. Okay, that looks like Abiy Ahmed right there, and the rest of them I can't really see clearly anyway. So yeah, so take it home. Chaotic Storm. After I make my wealth, I will go back to Africa. Yeah, that's what we're doing mostly. So we're gonna go build. We have to build Africa. Someone like me in Australia, like, I'm fixed. Okay, I'm fixed because, or not really fixed. I'm perplexed because Aboriginal Australians are part of our African family. So I'll be, basically dual citizenship. Okay, dual citizenship. I'm gonna have dual citizenship. So, which I don't have at the moment. I'm currently just Australian, no longer Guinean, but I can always get a Guinean passport. Okay. Yeah, so when the All Africa passport comes in, okay, it's gonna tie me to two nations, okay, Australia and Africa. Yeah, so yeah, our family here in Australia, the Australian natives, Aboriginal people, are also struggling, so we need to help them as well. Okay, we need to extend the love to them as well. So eventually, I know they've debated on changing the national flag of Australia to the Aboriginal flag, which is a Pan-Africanist flag. So it will soon happen, but I think the debate will occur after the Queen passes away. And I don't wish death on the Queen, but when the Queen dies, okay, Australia will push for a republic, because Australia is not a republic just yet. That's why we still have the British flag. Anyway, so I'm going to read this short article. Okay, so the 32nd African Union Summit kicks off. So this article was on February 10th, 2019. So Cairo. So this article is from Egypt Today. Okay, so Cairo, 10th of February 2019, the 32nd ordinary session of the Assembly of the African Union kicked off in the Ethiopian capital Addis Ababa on Sunday, having the theme the Year of Refugees, Returnees, and Internally Displaced Persons towards durable solutions to forced displacement in Africa. So yeah, these people are waking up. You know, these are very, very serious issues, and a lot of these displaced people are due to like internal conflict and stuff like that. Like especially like Somali, the Somali tribal war. You know, spewing a lot of refugees into Kenya, Tanzania, and whatnot. And you have the crisis in Zimbabwe, the economic woes of Zimbabwe, having a lot of Zimbabweans in South Africa and stuff like that. Liberia, you have the civil war in Liberia, sending a lot of Liberians into Ghana and wherever, all throughout the African continent. It's similarly Sierra Leone and Mali and wherever there's trouble. Okay, people have been displaced, but guess what? You know, after so many years, okay, people like a Liberian has permission to live in, say, Nigeria. After 10 years, 20 years, he's going to probably marry a Nigerian wife and have kids. So, you know, this is what Pan-Africanism is. It's going to promote more unity, you know, and there's unity in marriage, when marriage only means a union. So, and a union. But if you go in with a Judeo-Christian perspective, you know, there's legal implications to marriage. Okay, but marriage just means a union. So the African Union is basically a marriage between every state or every country or everyone of African descent or on the continent. So unity, a bond. Okay, a bond that should and must never be broken. Anyway, earlier, a closed meeting of the African Union Assembly of Heads of State and Government took place, whereas Rwandan President Paul Kagame presented his achievements while chairing the A.U. in 2018. So Paul Kagame was a former A.U. chairman for the year 2018. So every year there is a new chairman, which is great. So every year there's a new chairman for the African Union. Not like the United Nations, where it's like, what, 4 years or 8 years or something? Because I know, what's his name? Kofi Annan was the UN boss for like so many years, like 8 years or 10 years or something like that. So yeah, a tripartite summit between Egyptian President Abdel Fattah Al-Sisi, and you know how Al-Sisi came into power in Egypt. Okay, the United States of America under Obama, okay, incited or created violence in Egypt that Egypt hadn't seen in a long time. Okay, North Africa was turning into a war zone. Great turmoil in North Africa, all due to America's foreign policies. Okay, giving power to the Muslim Brotherhood, and they were murdering people left, right, and center in North Africa. Okay, bombing churches and just great foolishness. All right. So Al-Sisi staged a coup d'etat on I forgot his name now. Mohamed Morsi. Okay. After so you would know that Mohamed Morsi was a puppet the United States. But all praise to President Abdel Fattah Al-Sisi. Okay, he held things down. He staged the coup d'etat and held things down, and then he went for elections, and he was voted into office as a president of Egypt. Okay, all right. So this, Africa is rising. When we say Africa is rising, okay, Africa is rising, really, really rising. Okay, really, really rising. So a tripartite summit between Egyptian President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi, Sudanese counterpart Omar al-Bashir, and Ethiopian Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed. So this is al-Sisi and Abiy Ahmed. Okay, Abiy Ahmed is my all-time favorite now, or current favorite African leader. So I'll take that again. A tripartite summit between Egyptian President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi, Sudanese counterpart Omar al-Bashir, and Ethiopian Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed kicked off in Addis Ababa on Sunday to tackle the controversial Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam. So this is why Egypt really, 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 really needs to be part of the African Union, because 90% of the Egyptian population live along the Nile, and Ethiopia damming the Nile with the Grand Renaissance Dam is going to reduce water flow of the Nile into Egypt. So Egypt is never the master of the Nile. Uganda, Ethiopia, that's where the Nile starts from. Okay, so Egypt needs Ethiopia. Egypt needs Uganda. Okay, North Africa needs South Africa. We can't separate. Okay, we cannot separate. So President Sisi will start his one-year term as chairperson of the A.U. So Al-Sisi, now president of Egypt, is the 2019 A.U. chairperson. Okay, so President Sisi will start his one-year term as chairperson of the A.U. in the summit's opening session before the president officially receives the chairmanship from the outgoing A.U. chairperson and Rwandan counterpart. Speeches will be delivered by chairperson of the African Union Commission, Musa Faki Mahamat, chairperson of Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, Bill Gates, president of FIFA, Gianni Infantino, Director General of World Health Organization, Tedros Adhanom, Secretary General of League of Arab States, Mohammed Abul Ghi. So the League of Arab States, they better join the African Union. Okay, Arabia is part of Africa. They better join the African Union because Palestine is part of the African Union. Israel wants to be part of the African Union. Lebanon wants to be part of the African Union. Who knows? Syria might be part of the African Union once their troubles are resolved. And mind you, Obama and the U.S. administration created that foolishness in Syria, and Australia was part of it. Okay.
Did you accident?
Australia is part of it. Okay. Australia is part of the reason why things are going bad in Syria, but thanks to Russia, okay, Bashar Assad is holding things down. Okay, but this is the foolishness, right? Australia and the US go create all this trouble in the Middle East, okay, and then force people to become refugees, okay, and then they move into Europe and destabilizes Europe, and Australia flies jets. Okay, Australian government has committed to taking 20,000 Syrian refugees, bringing them to Australia. These people are Muslims, okay, bringing them to Australia, people who do not understand the Australian value or ways of life, and further on coming to destabilize the Australian way of life. Okay, and further driving Australia into shits, and further pushing the indigenous people of Australia into the bush. Okay, you are committing 20 so much money to bringing 20,000 refugees into Australia when Australian Aboriginal people are living in shacks, not having proper housing,
not being cared for. So these people, I just don't get it. I just don't understand their politics. Okay, I just don't understand. But you know what it is? Okay, they go and destabilize this part of Africa, Syria, and that, so they can move right back in. Okay, okay. The whole purpose was to give more power to Saudi Arabia, diffuse the power of Assad. Okay, so they could install puppet governments, so they could build a pipeline direct from Saudi Arabia into Europe. So they stop trading with Russia. Okay, so Vladimir Putin is not a dickhead. Okay, Vladimir Putin is not an idiot. He's one of the most intelligent leaders of all time. Okay, currently the most intelligent head of state ever. So who lived there for several years and attained legal citizenship? Israel also kicking Africans out of Israel. Yeah, so I mean, Israel's foolishness needs to stop. Okay, Israel's foolishness needs to stop. But you should know that Israel is in its position as it is because of the United States. Okay, it's all because of the United States. The United States gave Israel nukes. United States commit billions of dollars to Israel. United States defends Israel. I mean, come on, come on. If you do not see this agenda, then I don't know what's up with your intellect. Anyway, so back to my article. So President Sisi will start his one-year term as chairperson of the AU in the summit's opening session. Before the president officially receives the chairperson from the outgoing AU chairperson and Rwandan counterpart, speeches will be delivered by, I think I already read this. Okay, already read this. So the Arab states, so that made me digress a bit, but the Arab states need to be part of Africa. The Secretary General of the United Nations, Antonio Guterres, and President of the States of Palestine and chairman of the Executive Committee of Palestine Liberation Organization, so PLO, Mahmoud Abbas. So yeah, Israel was not present. Israel was not present at the AU, the second AU summit, but Palestine was there. All the Arabian countries were there. So, the Arabian states countries are not officially part of the AU, but they will be drafted soon. Okay, so I mean, it's going to be a very powerful union. It's going to be a very, very powerful union. So, Chaotic Storm, look at the other stuff I wrote. So you were talking about making your wealth and taking it back home. So Egypt killed Ethiopia's lead engineer. Yeah, we knew there was going to be some of those things happening in Ethiopia, because Egypt was, when Ethiopia launched, made the plans to build a dam mainstream. Okay, the Egyptians went into uproar. Okay, and that was during the time of the Muslim Brotherhood. They were willing to send fighter jets to go bomb the dam. They were willing to send fighter jets from Egypt to go bomb the dam. But Al-Sisi is like, no, we want none of that foolishness, because all the sub-Saharan countries were in support of Ethiopia. So if Egypt had done that, okay, it would be an all-right war. Okay, it would be an all-right war with Uganda, Sudan, Ethiopia, Somalia. Like the whole of sub-Sahara Africa is gonna pour out into Egypt and attack Egypt. If Egypt had done that, it would be a serious bad move for Egypt. So yeah, I'm very happy they went the diplomatic approach, and that's what Al-Sisi right here. Okay, this is what Al-Sisi is doing here. It's all diplomacy. Okay, diplomacy. There's no solution in war. Okay, there's no solution in war. I said this before, that if you die for whatever you're fighting for, okay, if you die for whatever you're fighting for, you've lost. You've lost, because you're dead. You're dead and gone. You wouldn't know how the fight ended. You wouldn't know any of those things. You're just dead. You waste. So instead of fighting for what you love, live, or dying for what you love, live for what you love. Okay, promote love and unity. Okay, and this is what it is. This is what it is. This is what it is. So yeah, so Abiy Ahmed and President Al-Sisi. What is the agenda of Sisi's visit to Addis Ababa? So Cairo, 9 February. President Abdel El-Sisi arrived in Ethiopian capital Addis Ababa on Saturday to succeed his Rwandan counterpart Paul Kagame. So obviously, the agenda for El-Sisi is to make sure diplomatically that Ethiopia continues releasing water to the Nile. Okay, so the Nile starts from the highlands of Ethiopia, okay, and Lake Victoria in Uganda, and it flows right through. It flows right through Sudan. First of all, it flows through South Sudan before going through North Sudan. So these people just have to unite. Otherwise, it would be, you know, in the future, okay, water is going to be the most vital commodity. Okay, it'll be more valuable than petrol. It's already, a bottle of water is like it's like $3-4 here in Australia. $3-4 for like 600 milliliters. Okay, $3-4. That's expensive as hell. That's water. So Australia, we do have climatic problems as well, and water is very conservation of water is very necessary for Australia. So water is going to be very, very expensive in the future. I can't get a gallon for 30. Oh, I can get a gallon for 35 cents. That's water, right? In the United States, yeah, you can, but not in Australia. Okay, Australia, water is very essential. Okay, so it's part of the Australian tradition that we have showers once a day. And we for the purpose of conserving water, we have, we limit our showers to 4 minutes. 4 minutes, so we can have two showers a day of 4 minutes. Okay, two 4-minute showers a day, or just have one shower a day. So I can get a gallon for 35 cents. Okay, I read that. So what was the dam for? So the dam for Ethiopia, the Ethiopia's Grand Renaissance Dam, was because Ethiopia's population is like 135 million people, or 160 thereabout. So they needed more electrical power. Okay, they needed more electrical power, and because of the climatic chaos, okay, it's important that we build dams. Okay, dams reserve water. Okay, so that's what a dam means: to dam or reservoir, to save water. So otherwise, the water just flows into the ocean, and you're losing a lot of it. So the purpose of dam is water management. So part of my civil engineering course, we did projects on that. So dams are built purposefully for water management, and the benefits comes out of that. The water is managed better. It prevents floods. Dams prevent floods because the Nile floods a lot. So you need to control the flow of the Nile, and that's what the purpose of the dam is. But then, because if Egypt is hostile to Ethiopia, they could just dam the whole thing and not feed any water into the Nile, or very little amount of water to the Nile, and Egyptians are going to be in trouble. So it is, it has to take things like this for Africa to unite, to recognize that we need each other. We need one another. Okay. We need one another. And then the necessity is there for us to unite, to fight global white supremacy. Okay, that is the reason why we need to unite and see ourselves as family. If you want to ignore the family part of it, which I am mostly about family, if you want to ignore that, okay, just unite, because there's a huge force fighting you, which is called white supremacy. All right. And white supremacy is not just the everyday white person. Okay, white supremacy is a system. Okay, it's a system. It's not the everyday white person on the street. It's a system. So yeah, so I read that. So yeah, 32nd ordinary session. You can go onto the A.U.'s website and then read the agenda and the draft, again, stuff like that. So yeah, I'm gonna conclude my stream, but I'll show you a few pictures of Kwame Nkrumah, and you know, this is the Kwame Nkrumah Mausoleum, okay, built in Accra, Ghana. Okay, so that's the statue of Kwame Nkrumah. So this is a very popular tourist spot in Ghana. You can go and see a statue of Kwame Nkrumah, and Kwame Nkrumah is buried in this building here. So Kwame Nkrumah's casket is in this building here. You can go see Dr. Kwame Nkrumah's body. I think he's been mummified, and you can go see it. So that's the beautiful smile of Dr. Kwame Nkrumah. A very, very intelligent brother. Okay, very, very intelligent ancestor. So I don't know what this is, but yeah, I think this is the founding fathers of the nation of Ghana. Okay, the nation of Ghana. Okay, this man here is a half caste. Okay, someone you call a half caste. I can't remember his name, but yeah, they were all very, very prominent. You know, they were all prominent in establishing the nation called Ghana. They were very, very intelligent. I think they were called the Big Six or something. Okay, you see them on the Ghana, the money, the currency. You see them on the currency. So yeah. Okay, so this is a photo of. Oh, I didn't know that MLK was was that. I'm not gonna say short, but I didn't know Kwame Nkrumah was taller than MLK. So he must have been a very small individual or short in stature. So yeah, that's Dr. Kwame Nkrumah with MLK. Okay, I don't want to hear that Africans never did anything to African Americans or whatnot. Okay, Kwame Nkrumah inspired a lot of these movements in the United States. Okay, inspired it. Okay, Kwame Nkrumah lived in the United States for so many years, studied there. So that's a painting of Kwame Nkrumah. I think that's a statue of him. Yeah. Kwame Nkrumah. He's quite good looking, very handsome African brother. Okay. So what was this? The images of Dr. Kwame Nkrumah. You see Kwame Nkrumah with Malcolm X. So Dr. Kwame Nkrumah with Malcolm X. Okay. I don't know why this is not coming up, but let's try something else. So wind and solar power could be alternative. Yeah, the problem with that is the wind and solar panel power is very, very expensive. Quincy Pinola, that is very expensive. Okay, wind turbines cost a lot of money. Okay, wind turbines, but in future, you know, things like that will become. Like before, nobody could afford electric cars, but you know, currently electric cars are selling for $60,000, and you can buy a petrol car for like what, $1,000, even $500. You know, so not many people can afford, you know, electric cars at the moment. But you know, so it's all boils down to affordability. So this is Nkrumah with I think this is JFK, John F. Kennedy. Okay, JFK made a very great quote. Okay, it's not what your country can do for you, it's what you can do for your country. So basically, if you are someone of African descent, okay, it's not what Africa can do for you, it's what you can do for Africa. So this should inspire you to go tie yourself to the motherland, okay, and help build Africa, okay, because nobody's going to do it for us. Okay, we have to do it for ourselves. We have to do it for ourselves. So This is the Queen of England. I think Queen Elizabeth, the current queen. This is Dr. Kwame Nkrumah with the current Queen of England, Queen Elizabeth. Okay, I think she was in Ghana. Queen Elizabeth was in Ghana. Okay. So I think the achievements of Dr. Kwame Nkrumah is overwhelming. Okay, overwhelming. Nkrumah achieved so much. Okay, so much. Okay. You can just go and read the history of Nkrumah. Nkrumah is Ghana. Okay, he did so much, so much. And then Nkrumah married an Egyptian woman. Okay, Nkrumah married an Egyptian woman for the reason of Pan-Africanism. He understood what marriage meant. Okay, marriage means unity. So for a long time, Ghana had been enjoying a good relationship with Egypt. Okay. So yeah, in Ghanaians, a lot of Ghanaians understand the history that they migrated from Egypt. So who is this? That's Nkrumah with one prominent black person. I'm not sure who this is, but yeah, there's still a lot that I have to study. There's still a whole lot that I have to learn. So this is Nkrumah 1929 in his school. So this is a whole history on Nkrumah. Okay. Whole history on Nkrumah. So yeah, so this is a picture of Nkrumah when he was building a hydroelectric dam in Ghana called the Akosombo Dam. Okay, since the death of Nkrumah, people in Ghana haven't upgraded this dam. They haven't built anything. Okay, much of the infrastructure in Ghana was built by Nkrumah over 60 years ago, and Ghanaians have just sat by. They've just sat by, haven't done much at all. So this is in French. So yeah, I need to read it in French. So I'm gonna do that. I can read French. So yeah, I can read French. So I'll be doing that. So yeah, going back to. So yeah, this is Kwame Nkrumah with E.B. Du Bois. Okay, this is E.B. Du Bois' wife. Okay, this is Kwame Nkrumah. Okay, Kwame Nkrumah with W.E.B. Du Bois. Freedom is not something that one people can bestow on another as a gift. They claim it as their own, and none can keep it from them. Okay, this is one of Dr. Kwame Nkrumah's quotes, which is fantastic. I was going to actually read some of Dr. Kwame Nkrumah's quotes. I think this is Kwame Nkrumah with, that looks like President Nasser of Egypt. No, it can't be. So I think Kwame Nkrumah's university in the United States, Lincoln University. I'm not going to, didn't want to drag the stream on for that long, but just wanted to show you how Kwame Nkrumah was very, very involved. Okay, this is Kwame Nkrumah, Haile Selassie. Okay, this is Emperor Haile Selassie here with Dr. Kwame Nkrumah. All right. Okay, so here Kwame Nkrumah made a very, very famous speech here addressing the O.A.U. So yeah, when you visit Ghana, make sure you go see Kwame Nkrumah's mausoleum. This is where Kwame Nkrumah is buried. Okay, so this is Kwame Nkrumah's casket. Okay, so yeah, I wanted to show you the photo of Kwame Nkrumah and Malcolm X, but it's not showing up. I don't know why. So I typed it in Kwame Nkrumah with Malcolm X. So maybe I should do Malcolm X with Kwame Nkrumah. So it's come up with the same thing with Martin Luther King. So let's see. Malcolm X in Ghana. Malcolm X in so Malcolm X in Ghana. It's not coming up with anything with Malcolm X. Anyway, sorry, family. So I'll just read. If you are not careful of the newspaper, so Malcolm was talking about the media. Okay, loving people who are doing their oppression. Okay, so I completely cannot find where. Hang on. I think I'm missing a letter here. Malcolm X. No. Malcolm X. Nkrumah. So yeah, there we go. There we go. So this is Malcolm X in Ghana. Okay. Malcolm X in Ghana and more of Malcolm X. Okay. Malcolm X. Okay. You wouldn't know this man is such a radical. Okay. Look at that beautiful smile. So yeah, Malcolm X with Kwame Nkrumah. Okay. I just won't go away without seeing that Malcolm X with Kwame Nkrumah. Malcolm X. Why are they doing this to me? Okay, so there's a photo of Malcolm X in the back of a car with Dr. Kwame Nkrumah. Okay. Okay, Malcolm X with Dr. Kwame Nkrumah. I don't know why Google can't find it, but I saw this a while back, but I don't know who is hiding this image from me. Okay, somebody's hiding this image from me. But that image is really powerful. Okay, that image is really powerful. Malcolm X. Maybe let's do Malcolm X. Malcolm X and Dr. Kwame Nkrumah. Malcolm X and Dr. Kwame Nkrumah. Yeah. Who should I blame? Should I blame the white man? The white man is holding Malcolm X and Dr. Kwame Nkrumah back. Okay, from me. So, you know, Malcolm X and Dr. Kwame Nkrumah. Where is it? I can't find his image, but when I find it, I'll make it my thumbnail. Okay, I'll make it my thumbnail for this video. Anyway, so family, I'm gonna sign out. Thanks for joining the stream. Kwame Nkrumah made several quotes. Okay, I was reading some of Kwame Nkrumah's quotes. Pan-Africanism is not dead. Okay, Pan-Africanism is not dead. Those who would judge us merely by the heights we have achieved would do well to remember would do well to remember the depths from which we started. Okay. Those who basically, Nkrumah is telling, don't forget your history. Okay. Those who will judge us merely by the heights we have achieved would do well to remember the depths from which we started. So that's Dr. Kwame Nkrumah. So it is clear that we must find an African solution to our problems. An African solution to our problems, not a European solution to our problems. Okay. And this can only be found in African unity. Divided people are weak. United Africa could become one of the greatest forces for good in the world. So I say that divided people are a defeated people. Okay, are a defeated people. And if you are weak, you would be defeated. Okay, so this is Nkrumah's message. Action without thought is empty. Thought without action is blind. So this is Kwame Nkrumah's quote. Okay, I'm not African because I was born in Africa, but because Africa was born in me. All right. Because Africa was born in me. Countrymen, the task ahead is great indeed, and heavy is the responsibility, and yet it is a noble and glorious challenge. A challenge which calls for courage to dream and courage to believe, the courage to dare, the courage to do, the courage to envision, the courage to fight, the courage to work, the courage to achieve the highest excellencies and fullest, greatest of all, of man. Dare we ask for more in life? So this is Nkrumah. I mean, you can't beat Nkrumah. You just can't. All right. The achievement of this man is beyond, beyond any reasonable doubt. Okay. I mean, Nkrumah, at the time, I think he was the most diplomatic head of state ever in history at the time. Okay. He was with the Americans, he was the Cubans, he was in Europe, even, making alliance with his former colonizers because he knows he could benefit from them. Okay. If not, cause them to pay reparations. So, the community of economic life is the major feature within a nation and is the economy which holds together the people living in a territory. So again, the one thing the African Union is promoting is free trade amongst Africa. So that's going to unite Africans further. And so it is far better to be free to govern or misgovern yourself than to be governed by anybody else. So basically, whatever is happening in Liberia or the internal conflicts and stuff like that, it's better that Africans solve that problem out than Europeans come in and colonize us again. So capitalism is a development by refinement from feudalism, just as feudalism is development of refinement from slavery. Capitalism is but the gentleman's method of slavery. So yeah, this has been my message from the start. Okay, Kwame Nkrumah was against capitalism. Okay, and the Europe and America was very, very capitalistic, and so Nkrumah was preaching this kind of message, right? Nkrumah was preaching this kind of message, and that was a threat to the West. Okay, so they had to get rid of him. As far as I'm concerned, they have to. As far as I'm concerned, I am in the knowledge that death can never extinguish the torch which I have lit in Ghana and Accra. Long after I am dead and gone, the light will continue to burn and be borne aloft, giving light and guidance to all people. All people, okay? All people. Why can't I highlight this? So it's a powerful quote from Nkrumah. So the forces that unite us is intrinsic and greater than the superimposed influences that keep us apart. So yeah, Nkrumah's message is amazing. Okay, so yeah, I'm gonna have a show just on that. Okay, just on that alone, just on that and that. So I think these quotes are really great for a stream that I'll probably do on Africa Freedom Day. Okay, so yeah, azquotes.com. Okay, you can go to this website and then read all these African quotes. Okay, amazing. Even Idi Amin has great quotes. Okay. Anyway, family, this will conclude my stream. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe. Please like the video and share by all means. Let me get out. Let me stop sharing and yeah, go ahead and read the Agenda 2063 of the African Union. Okay, there's a whole lot that is happening on the continent. There's been a dynamic shift. Are we going to see European powers apologize to Africa? Are they going to pay reparations? Yeah, so all these things are going to be happening. 2019 is going to be great. The whole world needs Africa. Everybody needs Africa. You know, all the natural resources are here in Africa. Okay, the West wants it, but Africans are waking up with a strong message from Julius Malema. Okay, yeah, they can't take the resources out of Africa at a near free cost. Okay, they basically pay nothing, close to nothing for the resources they're taking out of Africa, and for the most part, they are destroying the environment and all that as well. So they have a lot to pay. Okay, Europe and the West have a lot to pay. America, they have a lot to pay, and just imagine a united Africa. Okay, Africa will be so powerful, it will be unstoppable. Okay, the territory that Africa has, okay, is so huge. Okay, if you include the Americas, you include like Brazil, Argentina, Panama, Ecuador, you know, Colombia, like all the entire Caribbean. Okay, if you include all where Black people live, Australia, Fiji, Papua New Guinea, when you include all that, okay, Africa's territory is huge. Okay, and if we can get like India and Pakistan and all that join the union as well, I mean, it's gonna be huge. All right, Africa will be a force to reckon with. But yeah, little beginnings, small beginnings. Peace, and love, Quincy Pinola. Thanks for joining the stream again. And yeah, I'll catch you guys on the next stream. All right. Take care of yourselves. Peace, unity. It's all love, family. It's all love. Love. Okay. I will catch you guys in the near future. But Pan-Africanism is not dead, and surely Black History Month has not ended. Okay. On February 28th. Okay. Black History Month does not end today. All right, family. Catch you guys later. Chief John is signing out. Peace out.